Hello, hello, and welcome back to Minotaur Hotel. Kota is now the manager of the lounge. Luke is back. He's good. I like Luke a lot. He's not my favorite of the hotel staff, but he's up there. He's the good boy. You and Kota make it all the way to reception. Standing there are Asterion and a what seems to be a bald eagle griffin dressed very informally. This is a good start. This is good. Shocked? Okay. The griffin eyes Kota up and down and is licking his beak in anticipation. Deep down, instinctual parts of you see the look on the new guest's face, catches on to what's about to happen, and screams at you to intervene. But, like watching a train crash in slow motion, all you can do is stand there as the griffin perks up and grins. Well, well, what do we have here? Not one, not two, but 3 hot guys all alone in a giant hotel in the middle of nowhere. I must have died and gone to heaven. The griffin's gaze slides like a groping hand up and down your body. Okay. And then flicks away to focus on Kota. For a moment, you aren't sure whether to feel relieved that he isn't undressing you with his eyes anymore, or just a little bit insulted at being dismissed with it without a second thought. The name's Luke. I just got here after a long, hard, lonely drive. And you are? A mighty fine piece of man. What do you say? What do you say? You help me with my bags. And when we get to my room, I can help you with your bag.
I beg your pardon.
The sound of Asterion's hooves clopping on the floor as he rushes over draws Luke's attention back to the Minotaur. Kota seems grateful for the distraction and shifts over to your other side, away from the new guest.
Mr. Walker, please allow me to introduce Mr. Kota, the proprietor of the hotel lounge, and of course, the master and owner of our establishment, Master Anon.
Master, huh? He looks from you to Asterion and back again with a widening smirk. His tail quivers behind, as if electrified. Kinky, I approve. And I also ain't one to barge into whatever you and Angus here got going on. Unless you're open, of course, in which case you can do anything you want with me too, Master. It's not like that. Luke either doesn't hear you or is ignoring you. His focus has shifted back to flirting with Kota. The dragon tries to keep up a polite smile in face of the griffin's enthusiasm. And you're the proper guy in charge of the lounge, huh? Nice. I've been needing a place to put my feet up for a spell. Something fierce. And if I can get service by an absolute snack like you, all the better. So, where's this lounge at? What kind of drinks you got? And most importantly, are you single?
Well.
Kota glances over, his eyes begging for you or Asterion to rescue him from Luke's, lascivious interest. After a long, uncomfortable moment, the griffin bursts out into a shrieking laughter and claps Kota on the back. Hey, relax, blue boy. I'm just teasing. Mostly. I'm awfully sorry. I got a tendency to come on strong and end up putting my foot in my mouth. But I can take a hint when a guy ain't interested. He gives Kota a pat on the shoulder and then looks over to you and Asterion. That goes for you too. If I step over the line, feel free to tell me to shut the fuck up.
As you say, Mr. Walker.
Hey, it's fine. You're still welcome to stay as long as you like.
Indeed.
The dragon gives you another look. You can tell that Kota has something he wants to say, and by the way he's glancing at the griffin, who still has an arm around his shoulder in an over-familial gesture, he wants to say it without Luke overhearing. Hey, Asterion, do you mind showing Luke to his room?
Very well, Master Anon.
Nah, you don't need to do that. I can find my own way. And, I was just joking about the helping me with my bags thing earlier. I've got stuff in the car, but I can get it myself.
Nonsense, Mr. Walker. As keeper of the hotel, it's my duty to serve the guests in any capacity that I am able.
Come on, Angus. You're handing me these jokes on a silver platter. And hell, I ain't one to turn down the help of a beefcake like you. Alright, let's go then. The Minotaur and Griffin make their way to the front of the door of the hotel, Luke sauntering along as Asterion clops behind him. Asterion turns to give you a look right before following Luke out into the hotel courtyard, and you give him an apologetic grimace in return. Silently, you promise to come up with some way to make it up to him. So, what's up? As soon as the front door clicks shut behind the new guest and Asterion, the dragon's polite mask falls off to reveal a frown of contempt. He brushes at the place Luke touched, as though trying to keep something foul from staining his clothing, and then turns to you.
If you will allow me to speak my mind, is that truly the kind of clientele you want to allow into the hotel?
What do you mean? Kota gestures to the front door, as though the source of his ire should be obvious.
That sort of rude, shameless, utterly disrespectful person. I shudder to think of him putting on that sort of display around any other guest that may come in. It would drive anyone with a sense of decency away.
Oh, come on, he doesn't seem that bad. One of the dragon's brows arches up high, almost trying to edge of his pulled back mane. Then Kota lets out a long, bone-deep sigh. Bone-deep? Is that a phrasing? Bone-deep sigh? Never heard that. Watch someone pull it out from something I've read on the channel. Anyway, it's fine.
I've dealt with him, with more than my fair share of clients, like that during my bartending days, and yes, Anon, they are that bad. All they do is poison the atmosphere and ruin the enjoyment of the other guests. Better to turn them away at the door than allow them to make a scene. Or worse. I'm not saying this as an employee, but as a friend who wishes the best for you. Asterion and the hotel. If you let a disgrace like that hang around, he's only going to cause trouble.
Well, gee, Blue Boy, tell us how you really feel. It seems that Asterion and Luke make their way back inside while you and Kota were talking. And by the scowl on the griffin's face, he overheard pretty much everything the dragon just said. Luke stands there with his arms crossed, looking from Kota to you and back again, as he taps a foot. A neutral mask slips back onto the dragon's face, as he turns to give the new guest a low bow.
Mr. Walker, I sincerely apologize if you overheard anything that...
The abrupt change in the dragon's demeanor only seems to piss Luke off more. He storms over with a squawk of annoyance, cutting Kota off. No, don't you go back to that "yes sir, Mr. Walker" bullshit. Come on, if you got something to say, then say it to my face. You want to talk about a disgrace? How about a guy that'll smile in your face, and then go around talking shit behind your back? If you had any kind of respect, you wouldn't pussyfoot around.
Respect?
The dragon bursts into loud, sneering laughter, and then draws himself up to meet Luke's glare with one of his own.
Very well. If you will allow me to speak my mind, I have absolutely nothing to say to someone like you.
Someone like me, huh? Luke pushes in closer, his beak snapping in anger as he glowers at the dragon. You're a real fucking asshole. You know that.
And you, Mr. Walker, are a crude, disrespectful lech.
As Coda pushes Luke away, the griffin's clawed hands ball into fists at his side. But before Luke can do something he'll regret, you push yourself in between the two of them. That's enough out of both of you. Coda, we can handle this. Go and start getting the restaurant ready for any of the other guests that might come today. And Mr. Walker, Luke, you need to calm down. I sincerely apologize that this is the first impression you get at our hotel. You're still welcome to stay. Our mission is to give anyone who needs it a place to stay for a while, and we don't turn anyone away. If you drop the attitude and the Casanova act, Asterion and I will be happy to make all of this up to you. Not like that. Fine. I'm sorry you and Angus for causing trouble. To you and Angus for causing trouble. He casts a perpetual glare in Kota's direction. Then Luke makes his way back over to Asterion to take the large, worn duffel bag in the Minotaur's arms and sling it over his shoulders. I'll piss off to my room and get out of your hair. All right. The griffin guest doesn't spare Kota a single glance as he stomps down the hallway toward the guest rooms. Once more, the dragon brushes himself off, and then turns to you and Asterion.
Did you see what I mean? I'm shocked that you allowed him to stay after that.
Asterion and I were handling it just fine until you talked about kicking him out. That didn't help, Kota. Look, I get your concern, and I want to tell you if you, and I want you to tell me if you think anything is going to be a problem. But neither Asterion nor I are going to just kick someone out because you get offended by something they say. And I don't want you getting into fights with the guests, guests over things like this, all right? We'll talk about it some more later. For now, go cool your head. The dragon lets out a huff of annoyance, then gives you and Asterion a shallow bow.
I apologize for speaking out of turn. If you will excuse me, I will go to the restaurant to prepare it for any other guests we may serve. Though to be frank, I don't want to see a single feather of that man's anywhere near there.
Kota turns on his heels and stalks away towards the restaurant, still muttering around under his breath.
I'll have to put a no shirt, no shoes, no service sign, lest he takes his clothes off and parade around in his underwear. Heavens, can you imagine?
Yeah, can you imagine? For better or worse, it's over. For the time being, at least. A sigh forces its way out of your chest. What a start to your venture in the hospitality industry. One would be forgiven if such a confrontation left them on edge. But for someone like Asterion, after all he's been through, what impact could it have? You turn to him. Asterion, sorry. I wasn't expecting things to take such a turn for the worse. Are you okay? The Minotaur looks down to the floor, his eyes darting to and fro as 100 ideas skitter around his mind. Air hisses as he inhales through gritted teeth, and with each inhale, his nostrils flare and tremble. You get a brief glimpse into Asterion's eyes before they close. What memories? Oh, what emotions are going through his head at this moment? And then his lips tense, but not in the way you expected. At first, you have to strain your hearing to catch it. An occasional littering here and there, like a harp string sweetly plucked. All at once, the strings snap. Is this a St. Louis thing? Yes, okay. Whoops. It's hard for me to remember what's been read and what hasn't.
Look at the size of his head.
We'll be nice. We'll be nice. What? Small is the gape that keeps mankind away from. Wait. Oh wait, what? Yeah, that's the one we want. Small is the gap that keeps mankind away from all sorts of earth-shattering truths. Ah, okay. And Kota, that very proper dragon. Well, Kota's demeanor in the kitchen is as prime and professional as anywhere else. Before he begins, he walks from table to table, introducing himself as their server and giving a polite bow when he departs. A moment like this, the strength of his reliance upon rigid social norms is made clear. I kind of like, I think I like Kota's bar more. Like, this one is definitely more of a restaurant, but I kind of like the, I don't know, maybe it's just the color palette? I don't know. Maybe it's just because I like Luke more. Maybe I'm just biased. He treats the lounge like a restaurant, asking if the guests have food allergies and trying to adjust their things accordingly, so as to satisfy the greatest number of people with a single meal. The Blue Dragon also feels the need to run his choice by you and Asterion before he gets cooking. It looks like miso soup is what's on the menu. With the grace of a mountain stream, Kota gathers his ingredients and sets to work. Focused and precise, he starts on the stock first, placing a few different items to the pot and letting their flavors leach into the water. You can make out seaweed and some sort going in first as the water heats up above a medium flame, and it is strained out just before the liquid comes to a boil. Once the broth starts roiling, he adds some kind of flaky material, whose nature is harder to discern. But when the scent of fish begins to perfume in the air, you feel you've got an idea of what it was. Reducing the heat and removing what remains of the fish flakes, he throws it in a couple of key ingredients: a finely chopped green onion and shredded carrot, and small cubes of tofu. To finish, Kota squeezes a glob of off-white paste into the ladle and mixes it until it dissolves. The whole process takes about 20 minutes, but the dragon pulls it off with flying colors, quickly summoning a set of, lacquer? Sure, bowls and chopsticks with which to serve the soup. Give me 1 second. Okay. You watch them from a table a few meters away from the bar. Tonight's meal is simple. For such a large hotel, it would be deemed underwhelming. But with everyone huddled together, it's like it's like being in a polite family dinner where no relative makes a fool out of himself. I can read. No, I can't. You know how this is. Even once the soup is done and everyone has been served, Kota doesn't seem to be content to relax. No sooner does the last guest take their lacquer bowl than the dragon heads back to the kitchen to make more. When you press him for details, he mentions that miso soup is often considered a side dish rather than a standalone meal in Japanese cuisine, and is usually served with at least 3 other foods and a bowl of rice. However, most of the other dishes are simple to make and soon join the soup on the table: brown rice, cucumber salad, a grilled mackerel, and fried chicken. Okay, I will end the part here, so I will see you around, everyone.